Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Abdul Majid. I'm a freelance UI UX designer with a background in human-computer interaction. As you can see, this is my first UI tutorial on YouTube, so if you guys find this very useful, please show me some love and kindly subscribe to my channel. So today we'll be creating a very sleek, clean leaderboard page, which is from a recent project I did. Just a little bit about the project. So it's an educational mobile app for kids, which is integrated with artificial intelligence and also serves as a personal assistant to kids ages from 6 to 16. So if you guys want to see more screens from this particular project, please let me know in the comment section below, and let's get started. So first thing first, let's create the artboard, which I have here already. So this is an iPhone X resolution, which is usually 375 by 812, as you can see here. So just a little bit about my process. When I start working on a project, I usually kind of put down the components that I will need for the project on the documents, and fortunately for us, XD allows us to do this. So I have most of the components I'm going to be used here in the component section. The next thing is I usually draw the guide from the side. Yeah, so I'll just give it 20 pixels to the left and then 20 pixels to the right. Okay, if I can just get this here. Okay, yes. So let's start with the components of the screen. So I want to create the header, which will contain the notification, the status bar, as well as the name of the project. I'm just going to draw a rectangle here, remove the border, give it a shadow of 0 in the y-axis, and then the blur to something around 2, just to give it a kind of subtle effect. And yeah, the color is black and the opacity is 16%. The height of the header is 80 pixels, which is fine for what we're trying to do. So yeah, let's start with the status bar, iOS status bar. I'm going to put it right here. So you see this green stuff around this component. This is just to show you that yes, this is a component. So we're going to put it 5 pixels to the top. We're going to put the name of the app. So let's call this Knowledge X. Our X with a capital letter. Yeah, I'm kind of terrible with names, but I think this is fine. Okay. So 15. Let's give it 15 pixels to the bottom of the top header. So if you want to see this guide popping up like you see right here, which is very useful in case of measurements, what I usually do is that on Windows, you press the Alt key, you click on the element first, and then you press the Alt key just to show you what are the pixels or the spacing around elements around it. So yeah, so 15 pixels to the bottom of the header is fine. The size of the text is 14, which is actually the standard for a mobile phone, or you could make it 16 if you want. That's fine. The next thing we're going to do is create just yeah, the notification. So we're just gonna bring it and kind of drop it here. You can see they have this green bounce around it, which just shows you that yeah, it is a component in XD. Yeah, that's fine. One thing we want to also do is create a sort of red dot just above, just on the notification icon, just to tell the user that yeah, it got some notification. Check it out. So we're going to make the border white, and then we're going to make the fill red. Yeah, red, but it's fine. So the reason for the white is that the header has a white background, so using white as the feed for this red dot kind of give it a cutting effect, if you can see on the notification icon. So yeah, I think that's it for the header. So what I usually do is kind of group my elements together. This actually makes it easy for me to move around. So I group the icon with the name, and then with the status bar, and then I group it all together. So if you can see, I can move this around easily. Next step is creating the bottom navigation. So we just click on the rectangle and then draw a rectangle the same size with the width of the artboard, which is 375. We want to make the height 55 pixels, and we can just click on this alignment options here if you want it to align to the bottom. Yeah, just like that. So we're going to take out the border. We're going to give it a shadow of 0 on the y-axis and the x-axis, as well as 3 on the blur. The color should be 0, as well as 16% opacity. Yep. Just like I showed you guys earlier about the component. So on this particular project, we have 4 main pages on the application. So that's the home icon, the home page, the favorites page, the leaders board page, which is the one we're creating right now, as well as the profile page. So we're going to take all these and put them on the above the rectangle. Don't worry, I'm going to align them just now. All we want to do is give it a bit of space from the left. Okay, so let's give it 35 from the left. Yeah, also 35 to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So let's align it. We select all the icons. Okay, and then we'll align horizontal. We align vertically as well as horizontally. Okay, so it's perfectly aligned right now. So on the highlighted section, which is the leaders board page, what we want to do is kind of create a background to simulate a pressed action. Okay, to do this, we click on the rectangle or the square tool, and then we draw out a rectangle, same with the weight of the artboard, and we can actually divide this by 4 to give us 4 equal rectangles for each of the icons we have on the bottom navigation. Okay, so the value is 93.75 after dividing it by 4, and then what we can do is put it just behind that icon, the same with the weight and the height of the navigation, which is 55. And then we're going to bring this to the front, right click on it, arrange, bring to front. Okay, all right. So as you guys can see here, if we actually duplicate these boxes, they will give us 4 equal rectangles for each of the icons, which is what we want to achieve. All right, so the design I did there was kind of a little bit cool. So what I did was I created another rectangle. Okay, you can click press arrow on the keyboard for rectangle, and then draw it to be the same size of the icon. So the height, give it height of 5 pixels, and then we'll bring it down on top of the highlighted icon. Remove the border and give it the color, a blue color, sweet blue color. And for the highlighted background, what we can do is we'll remove the border and also give it a gradient color. Okay, so what I did here is that I already have the color, the gradient color already, so I'm just going to click on it and apply it to this. So it's kind of upside down. What we'll do is we can flip it. Yeah, so if you can see, this is what we want to achieve, a little bit of an illusion of a shadow on the icon, and we can put this to the center to make sure that it's, yeah. So you guys can see now that this shows that it's a little bit different from the rest. Shows that it's highlighted, which means we are on this particular page. So what we can do is just group it. Yeah, let's always group our elements, make it easy for us to move around. Cool. So the next thing we want to do is create a section to show the list of people on this application, and also show their rating. So we start by creating another rectangle just at the middle of the page, right? And so 55 pixels for the height, it's fine. And so one thing about onboarding, one thing about leaderboard screen is that people want to see their rating for this particular day. They want to see their rating for a month, and they want to see the overtime rating. So, and this is the section we want to create here. So we would click on the text tool create a text, and this will be today. All right. We hold Alt and drag to duplicate it. Okay. This will be month, and this will be the respective tabs for each of the to show the list of people and their rating for a particular day, for a month, as well as the overall rating. So the next one will be all-time rating. It's great. All time. Okay. We want to align it vertically as well as horizontally. So let's make this text 40 pixels from the left, or from the right rather. 40 pixels from the right. You hold shift and click the left arrow key 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, same with this. Take it to the left and then hold shift and click on the right arrow 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, which will give you 4, and this will be at the center. So cool. All right. We also want to create a line. Okay, you guys will see what the reason why I'm creating this in just a second. Okay, we're gonna give it a black fill and a 50. Now let's give it 20% opacity. All right, this rectangle, let's take out the fill. Okay, let's move this new line to the bottom of this rectangle. All right, so and let's make the line smaller a little bit. So hold shift, click on one of the anchor and then drag it to the guide. Hold shift again, click on one of the right icon and drag it to the guide. Okay, so we would duplicate this line. All right, what you can do is Control C and Control V to duplicate. Okay, we're gonna make this very small to the size of this, or what we can do like we did in the navigation below, we can actually divide it by 3, because we have 1, 2, 3 elements, so we divide it by 3. Okay, I don't know if that is correct, but let's just see. We increase the opacity and give it a blue color. Okay, so you guys are seeing what I'm trying to do here is just to show that which of the tabs is being highlighted. So let's just make this a little bit smaller. I think 80 is fine. 90. Let's make it 90. 90 is fine. So this is to show that the today's tab is the one active, and another way to show that the other tabs are not active by reducing the opacity. So we can reduce the opacity to 50%. Cool. Yeah, so we move on to start creating the list of the users based on their rating. So the design I did was, first of all, I had a circle that shows the thumbnail or the user, the profile of the user, the username, the school of the user, and we have the rating and their numbers. So let's do that. So let's make this let's create a circle, make it 40. Let's make it 40. Both the width and the height should be 40. Yeah, or we can make it 50. Yeah, I think 50 is fine. So I'm a very big fan of white space, which we call negative space. So I usually leave a good space from between components. So in this place we have 12. Let's make it 15. 15.5 is fine. Yeah, so the next step is actually the name of the particular user. Let's call him my name, Majid. Okay, so the name and the school that is attending. 10 pixels from the circle. It's fine. Okay, so we just duplicate this. You click on the Alt and then we drag and move downwards. We reduce the opacity and also the size to 12. Okay, we group it and then we make it the center of this circle to make it align. Okay, make it align to the center of this circle, which is going to be the user's profile picture. Okay, we're going to change the name. So this will be the name of the school. Let's call this King James College. Okay, right. So on the right part of the artboard, we're going to give it a rating. Okay, so one way to represent a rating is a star. And if you actually see some of the updates on Adobe, you can actually create a star using the polygon tool. Okay, so let's create a star right now. We'll move the border. I'll give it a fill color of let's give it blue. We're going to change it later on, but let's give it blue. Border, no border, and then we're going to change this to 5. That's the size is 5, and then we increase star ratio let's make this, I think 50 is fine. Yeah. So as you can see, we just created a star now from the polygon tool. All right. We'll give it a background. Let's give the star background. So we'll create a circle around. And let's make this, let's give it a color, orange color. Reduce the opacity to 50. Or let's say 80. It is fine. Remove the fill, the border. All right. So bring this star to the front. Right click, arrange, bring to front. Okay. And place it on this circle we just created. Cool. You guys with me? Let's reduce the size of the star a little bit. All right. Let's give it. Let's change the fill to white. All right, and let's group it. Cool. So we also want to create their point. So this star represents their rating. So their point, which is going to be in which are digits, we will just create it just close to this star. We'll give this particular user 150. Obviously, we are going to also 150. Okay, give it, put it this distance of 5 pixels. All right, we can actually, what we can do is, okay, and then group them together and make them align also to the circle. All right, that's cool. Then we also want to indicate what position they are. So from 1 to 1000, what's their position? Put it on the left. So let's say this guy is let's say the 5th. Yeah, 5th is fine. All right. Not so important, so we can just reduce the opacity to 50%. So as you guys can see, the reason for reducing the opacity is just to make some other part of the element pop out a little bit more. So for example, we need the name, which is more important than the school. Also the number is not so important, so we'll just kind of dim it a little bit, and then we align it to the star, to the center of the circle, right? Okay, and let's make this 10 pixels, the difference between the number as well as the user profile, 10 pixels. So we have the first row. Now what we can do is bring in an image. So I have an image already, so let me just pull that up right now. So what I did was I dragged an image directly from one of my folders, and I just placed it on the square, and it kind of masked it, so which is a very good feature in Adobe XD. So now we have the first row. Let's group all of them together. And instead of creating all this all over again, what we can do is create what we call a repeat grid, which is also a very important feature in Adobe. We will click on the elements we want to repeat, and then we click on the repeat grid on the right panel. So you see this dotted line around it. It shows that this is a repeat grid. What we can do, we can repeat it vertically as well as horizontally. But what we want to do is repeat them downwards. Okay. All right. Don't worry, we're going to fix that. Let's just make as many as possible. So in case we want to prototype in the future, we can just scroll up. All right. So the distance between it can also be increased or decreased, which is fine. But I think 20 is fine for now. We can make it 30, or we can just let's make it 20. 20 is good. All right, cool. So we remember our bottom navigation, like I said earlier. So what we do is we bring this to the front so it will be above the content of the page. Yeah. Arrange, bring to front. Okay, cool. Cool. Don't forget to save, guys. So now we go to the most important part of the of this design, which is creating those 3D boxes, or 3D, I don't know what they call, cube. So before that, let's just group all our elements together. All right. Yeah. So to create this, the first thing we need to do is create a rectangle. Let's do this outside the design so we can bring it in later on. Okay. A rectangle, let's make the height 100 and the width, or let's make it 120. Oh, 100 is fine. No, 120. And the width is 250. Sorry, no, width. The width is 100. Let's make the width 100. Okay. And let's make the height 250. So I want it to be a little bit long. All right. Cool. Okay. So we want to kind of distort the rectangle a little bit, just to create the tube design that we had earlier on the page. Okay, so the first thing is you double click on this, then it shows 4 anchor points. You click on the top right anchor points, hold down Shift and click on the down arrow just once. Okay, good. You come to the bottom, hold down Shift and click on the right arrow once, and then the left bottom anchor, click on it, hold down Shift and click on the left arrow. Okay, you see what we're making right here? Cool. So the top of the cube, we create another rectangle. All right. We click on another rectangle. What we can do here is this. So you guys pay a bit of attention. So in design, when something is farther away from the user, it gets smaller. Okay, so we want to create the top of the cube. We want to make it a little bit smaller, so we reduce the height of the cube to around 20. Okay, but it's the same width with the other rectangle. All right, so we bring it down, we select everything, and we remove the border. Okay, hope you guys can see this. So we double click on it again just to distort it a little bit. Double click. The first thing we want to do is on the top left anchor, we move it, we hold shift, and we click the right arrow a couple of times. 1, 2. Let's make it 2 times. Okay, we click on the left, top left, 1, 2. All right. Okay, and for it to go with the same shape with the other rectangle, what we can do is hold the shift, click on the bottom right, and drag it down. Okay, so you guys have to be careful here. Drag it down to meet with this. Cool. And for the top right, we can just hold shift and click on it once. All right, so it's giving us I'm going to change the color so that you guys can see the shape right now. So let's make this blue, and let's make this red blue, but a darker blue. Okay, all right, cool. So let's give it a gradient color. Okay, just to make it a little bit nicer. So you click on this rectangle, distorted rectangle, you click on the fill color, you come to solid, click on solid, and click on radial gradient. Okay, I want to give it a circular gradient. All right, you can reduce the size of the gradient with this by clicking on this anchor here, and you can also reduce increase it by clicking on also this anchor here. So I think this is fine. This is fine, and you can move them around by clicking on the center anchor. Okay, so this is fine. Let's make this part, which is a little bit lighter, let's make it more lighter. So we click on this, which is the lighter part, and then we move it a bit up to a light color. All right, that's cool. And then on the dark color, let's make it the no, not that, this. Okay, cool. So the same design, we're going to the same gradient we're going to apply to the top of the cone or the cube. All right, what we can do here is we can right click on this, copy, then come to the top, right click, and paste appearance. All right, this is so, and then we can reduce the size of it just to fit our design. Okay, and we also want to kind of so it shouldn't be the same color with the other cone. What we would do is reduce the light color, or kind of make it a little bit darker. Yes. So now we have our first cube, and then we can select all, then group it, and bring it back to our design. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so we bring it down a little bit because we're going to create the first a picture, an image of the first user, second user, and the third user. So the next thing we want to do is, so this will represent the first place user. We also want to, let's just bring that out again so we not get confused. We also will duplicate this, okay, and we flip it, right? We flip it horizontally, okay, and then what we can do is give it, rotate it to clockwise 5 degrees, okay, and put it down, a bit down. Don't forget, bring this will represent the first place user, so we bring this to the front, okay, and then we duplicate this and flip it horizontally again. All right, this will be first, second, and third. So first is always higher, second is below, and third is the last. So bring third down a little bit. Yeah, just to give it a very nice effect, what we can do here is just take it a little bit behind the first, and also the second behind the first. See what we have here? So this will be the first place, this will be the second place, and this will be the third place. So now what we can do is we can group all together and then bring it into our design. Cool, right? Okay. Let me just try something out here, guys. A second. All right. So we bring it into our design. We'll move it backwards, send to back. Okay. So now we have a problem. We want it to appear behind this grid. So we would create a background for this. Okay. We'll create a background for this list. So let's do that now. And we'll send this background to back. Okay. And then now we can send this our cube to the back. Okay. This background color we remove the fill and leave it. Now you see, and then we can center this, bring it down a little bit. You see what I'm doing here, guys? Cool. Okay, so we want this to represent our first, our second, and our third users. First, second, and third place users. We create a circle. Let's make this 54. Both the width and the height should be 54. Give it a fill, orange fill, reduce the opacity to 50%, and remove the border. And then we duplicate it, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and reduce this. And the image of the first user is going to be inside here. So the next thing we also want to do is the name of this user. So let's call him Smith. Cool. Right? And we can make it a little bit light. Can give it, make it light, maybe reduce the opacity. Oh, it's fine, no need to reduce the opacity. Okay, so this will be our, let's reduce the opacity of the background circle even more, and then we can group them together and position them in the center. It's also in the center, so we can give it here 10 pixels between that. Let's group this. I thought I grouped them earlier. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So we can actually go and let's make this circle a little bit bigger. Yeah, this is okay. So we can go and bring an image and just drop it on this inner circle. Okay. Let's take an image and put it here. Cool. All right. So we group this, both the name of the user as well as the picture of the user, and then hold shift and drag and duplicate. Okay. So this is going to be our third place user. The same thing to our second place user. Okay. And then we change the images and the names. So this would be Adams. And let's call this Brian or Angela. Okay. So now we have our first place, second place, or third place users. And then we can change the image. So let's look for one nice image here. Okay, so this image is not good, not aligned, so we just change it to this. It's cool. And you can also change this image to this. Yeah. So basically we have all the elements on the app pretty designed. We can stop here, or what we can do is add some, some really nice effect, just design element around this. So we can just create circles and stars around just to design it, make it a little bit more playful, which is very nice to do sometimes because these applications are for kids. So yeah. Okay. Create a rectangle, flip it 45 degree or 45, yeah, 45 degree, rotate it 45 degree, and start giving it some colors. Give the star a blue color. them on the blue color, you know, and we can create this again, reduce the size, give it a different color. Let's say on light blue. I mean, you can design this anyhow you want. Basically, the application is actually done. The design for the page is done. So yeah, so cool. Reduce the size. And the final step is actually creating the floating chat button. So we'll do that here right now. Okay, so let's create a circle. And this is actually optional if you guys want to put it in or not. It's fine. Let's make it the width and the height 56 pixel. Remove the border color and give it an orange feel. Give it a shadow. 12 on the y-axis and also 12 on the blur. Okay. And the color is black, and let's increase the percentage of the opacity to 25. Okay, so I think that will do it. Yeah. Okay. All right. And let's drag out the icon for that and just put it on the circle. To align this to the center, we can click on the icon, hold shift, click on the circle, and come to the alignment settings, align horizontally, center, and vertically. Okay, so that will put it in the center of the circle, and we just group it, and yeah, that's it. So if you also want to hide the guides, we have so many guides on our screen. We want to hide the guide. You just click on Windows. You click on Control and the semicolon to hide it and to bring it back on. To hide it and to bring it back on. Let's hide it. Yeah. So that's it. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this design. And also, if you want to see more screens from this particular project, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be providing more screens. And please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this if possible. If you think there are ways I could improve to make you guys better understand, let me know. Thank you.